NBC News is following Michigan closely as part of our County to County series, zeroing in on 5 counties that will play a major role in deciding the 2020 election. President Trump narrowly won the state in 2016, and Bernie Sanders won the Democratic primary that year by only 0.5%. In some areas of the state, moderate former Republican voters are questioning whether they want a second term of President Trump. NBC's Dasha Burns is with me from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Dasha, what have you been learning about voters in this part of the country that is so interesting to sort of study at this time?
It is fascinating indeed, Savannah. Hey, so Grand Rapids is in Kent County, which is one of those 5 counties we're zeroing in on for this project. And the reason we're here is because this place gives us a very specific look at a part of the electorate that's going to be really key to watch for 2020. And that is this group of what I call conflicted conservatives. Kent County is the hometown of Gerald Ford. And a lot of Republicans we talk to here call themselves Jerry Ford Republicans. They are moderate and they are concerned about President Trump. They say they don't really recognize the current Republican Party as the party that they grew up with. And so they're looking at other options like voting for a Democratic candidate. And what we've been doing is we've been following some specific voters from this area throughout the course of this election. So we started following some of them in November, and we'll be following up them all the way through to November 2020. I want to introduce you to a woman named Katie Morse. She did vote for Donald Trump in 2016, but has since come to regret that decision. She told me she's on a sort of journey of atonement. She's apologized to friends and family on Facebook, and now she's ready to take that formal step of actually voting for a Democratic candidate. We caught up with her today. She actually came here to this polling site to vote this morning. Take a listen to a little bit of what she told us after she voted this morning.
I came in today to cast my vote for Joe Biden because I am really looking forward to seeing Trump be out of office this fall. I think he's got the moderate profile I was looking for, and I think that he is the person who can actually bring America together. I think he's got the experience to get it done. He's got a proven track record, I think, unlike Sanders, and I think he's the best equipped to beat Trump this fall. Just talking to, friends and family, I think there's a lot of people out there who are really wanting to see somebody in the White House that is going to not make this country so divided as they currently are, somebody who's, professional and somebody that our children can look up to. And I think people are sick of the Twitter and the rhetoric and looking to have somebody who is really going to be willing to lead everybody in this country and not just himself and his own interest. I think people are looking for somebody out there and looking for a change. And this is the first opportunity that we've had to go out there and publicly voice our opinion at the polls that, we may have voted for Trump in 2016 and we may have supported the Republican Party in 2016, but they need to get their act together and step up and, speak out against Donald Trump and get this country back on the right path.
And Savannah, when we first met Katie back in November, this was all theoretical, right? She was considering some candidates. She was actually very excited about Amy Klobuchar and Pete Buttigieg. Joe Biden was her 3rd choice, but still, she was excited to vote for him today because her number one concern beyond, she's worried about education and gun control and climate change, but beyond all of that, it's the rhetoric. She's worried about her kids seeing what comes out of the president's mouth. She actually, one big turning point for her was when she went to a Trump rally with her 7-year-old son and afterwards had to talk to him about how not to talk about other people. So that's the number one concern for her. And not only is she part of this key demographic of moderate Republicans, but she's also a suburban mom, another really important demographic. And for Donald Trump, that is one where he is sort of struggling. An NBC News Wall Street Journal poll said that about 61% of suburban women disapprove of the president, Savannah. So seeing how these votes play out both in the primary and in the general will be fascinating to watch.
In some ways, her case there actually might also sort of speak to the importance of endorsement. If she was excited about Pete Buttigieg and Klobuchar, Biden being her 3rd choice, and that's who she's ended up at the poll for. So you're at this poll right now. So either those conflicted conservatives, maybe former conflicted conservatives, or Democrats through and through, how are they feeling? Are they leaning toward Biden or Sanders?
Well, today we have talked to a lot of Democrats, and here in Kent County, Bernie Sanders actually did win in 2016 by a pretty big margin. But of course, then Donald Trump went on to carry the county in the general. And so for the voters we've been talking to here, they're just trying to figure out who is the right candidate who can win back both Kent County and Michigan overall. So that's causing a lot of sort of tension for voters to figure out who to vote for. A lot of people we've talked to have said they didn't make up their mind until last night. For some, they didn't make up their mind until they were actually in there. And the tension comes between sort of the voting for the person who ideologically they align with versus voting for the person who they think is more electable. And some of the voters we talked to said they feel like Biden sort of has it locked in here. But for some of the progressives, they've said, you know, I'm going to stick with Bernie. They voted for him last time. They're still with him again. But even they say they're not necessarily sure that he can pull off what he pulled off in 2016, again in 2020, Savannah.
Well, Dasha, again, such an interesting place to be. Thank you for covering it for us.
Thank you so much.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.